welcome back to goldstocktrades.com. Today we have a returning special guest with us, Kerry Knoll. Kerry is executive chairman of Darnley Bay Resources, which can be traded as DBL on the TSX Venture and as DNLYF on the OTC. Thanks, Kerry, for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me back.
Kerry, it's an exciting time for Darnley Bay. You were able to announce the results of an independent preliminary economic assessment done by JDS Energy and Mining, a very reputable engineering firm. Could you give us some highlights into the Pine Point project and why it really is potentially one of the best zinc projects in the pipeline?
Well, there's a number of reasons for that, and the first one being the fact that our project is entirely, at this point anyways, open pit mining. Open pit mining is a lot cheaper than underground mining, and it's cheaper in both capital costs and operating costs. And just a small percentage, I think it's under 10% of the world's zinc projects are open pit mining. So we've got that advantage. That leads to the second one being our capital costs are very low, around 150 million Canadian dollars, about 115 million US dollars. That's a very low amount considering that we're going to have around 170 million dollars a year in revenue and about 70 million dollars in operating cash flow on an average year. It also leads to a very quick payback time of less than 2 years. I believe after tax, it's a 1.8 year payback on this. So it's a very short payback. The banks love that. That gives you a little bit of leeway if in case things don't go 100% as planned, you can still get your money back pretty quickly.
Kerry, talk to us about ways. I know the company sees ways that you could even improve this, improve some of these numbers as you go towards feasibility.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways, and we're going to be starting the feasibility this summer. One of the things that we're going to do is look at we have two very rich underground deposits that just did not get included in the PEA. The reason they didn't get included was because not enough engineering had been on handling the groundwater. A second thing is that there's a total of 46 deposits on this property, and our PEA only included 10 of them. Now it was most of the best ones, but there are 4 or 5 others that could easily be very rich and very profitable. They just need to have more drilling done on them to prove that they're all there. And we will be doing that drilling this summer. So we could actually, by the time the feasibility is finished, have this project be about 50% larger than it is now. There's another couple of things. We're doing metallurgical testing. That shows you what percentage of recovery of the metal you can get out of the ore. The previous operators of this project, which was a company called Caminco, now part of Teck, they historically got 95, 96% of the zinc out. And in our study, the number is only 88%. And the reason for that is because we haven't done the work to prove that we can get the ore out of these deposits or get that much zinc out of these deposits. We think we can get the old numbers, and it doesn't sound like very much going from 88 to 96, but if you do get 8% more zinc, that actually adds several $100 million to the revenue stream over the life of the mine. So it's very important. We're also looking at a few minor things that could improve the bottom line, and that's things like getting hydroelectric power to the project. We already have hydroelectric power from the local utility, but they would need to upgrade to be able to provide us with 100% of our power, and we're talking to them about that. And it seems like that has a good chance of happening. So there's quite a lot of different things that will happen as part of our feasibility study to make this both more economic than it already is, and it already is an excellent financial model, but also to make it larger. One other thing that I should point out, and I didn't mention earlier, was that our cost to produce a pound of zinc is going to be around 60 cents US dollar. So zinc's trading right now at about $1.18, and a lot of people think it's going a lot higher. And if it does, and we're able to produce zinc at 60 cents a pound, it'll be quite a profitable venture.
One of the things that I saw was that a 10% increase in zinc prices adds a lot of millions of dollars to the pre-tax NPV. Could you highlight for people who are unaware of the Pine Point project the infrastructure that's there? I mean, when you're looking at these mines and you're seeing which is going to come to production, you got to look at the infrastructure. And can you kind of give us some highlights there? What makes that Pine Point project so unique?
Well, the mines that are near cities in the world are mostly mined out. They're mostly gone. So they tend to be getting more and more isolated as time goes on. And this one was no exception. When it was first discovered in the 1920s, it was in the middle of absolutely nowhere. But because it was such a big project when it was mined in the past, that a railroad was built there, paved highways were built there, a hydroelectric power plant was built there, and those things are all there today. So we don't have to put those in. And those are what really jacks up the capital costs for a lot of mining projects. And we don't have those costs, which is one of the main reasons our capital costs to build this mine are relatively small compared to other operations.
Kerry, when the big producers, look at these projects, they really look at the permitting and the community relations. Could you give us some insights on on how permitting is going, or when that's going to start, and sort of the community relations in the area?
Sure, those are two items, but they're very, very closely connected. As far as permitting goes, the first thing to remember is that the Northwest Territories, where this jurisdiction is basically lives on mining. It's the number one part of the economy there. So the people in the government are, first of all, in favor of mining, and second of all, knowledgeable in mining. I mean, I've permitted mines in the past in countries that had no mining, so there was no mineral people in the government, and it was very, very difficult, and it took several years. So we've got a government there that is pro-mining, and we've got a property that the previous owner had actually already got a mining permit. There was a mining permit on this project when we acquired it. We've let that expire because it's starting with an underground mine that we're not interested in starting with. But the fact is that the government has already given a permit to this project. So we're pretty confident that and our mine plan is going to be doing basically exactly what the previous mining company that operated this mine, and that's just mine a bunch of open pits in sequence. We're not doing anything different. So we think that the permit will be relatively easy, but permits are always time consuming and expensive, and it's just something that we will get through. But I think we're in a pretty good place to get that started. As far as the community relations go, well, there's two issues. There's the local town, which is the town of Hay River, and there are several native bands as well. And we are working with both of them in order to, make sure that everybody benefits from this and everybody's happy with what we're doing going forward. The mine is going to provide 320 odd jobs on average over the life of the mine. And this is in the vicinity of this mine is probably only 5,000 or 6,000 people. So we're going to have a huge impact on the employment payrolls in the vicinity. And I think considering the amount of unemployment that is happening there right now, I think it's going to be pretty well received on that front as well.
And Kerry, could we discuss I know that you have billions of pounds of zinc, but there's still the potential for more, and I understand that you'll be drilling this summer. Can you talk to us about the potential upside here at Pine Point?
Well, the deposits that were discovered in the past, and this is a very prolific, what we call up here a mining camp, and there have been about 112, I believe the number is, deposits discovered on this property in the past. And 52 of those were mined out by the previous mining company, Caminco, when they were in here, and the rest are still sitting there, the lower grade ones. One of the things that happened was those 112 deposits are located on three separate trends. and it's a short geology lesson. If you can imagine a barrier reef along the shoreline of an ocean, so you've got a limestone formation, and these were formed a couple of 100 million years ago. And those limestone formations are now what are the trends that contain all these deposits, and there's 3 of them. And interestingly, the original owner of this mine, when they built the mine, had only discovered 2 of them. And they built a town, of 2,000 people in 1962 and started mining. And not long after the mine town was finished construction, a little company came along and discovered probably what was the richest deposit on this property just outside of town. And therefore they discovered a 3rd trend. And what subsequently happened was no exploration was done along that trend where the town was. Now the town is gone. The town has been torn down, and all you got left are roads and sidewalks. But you've now got 6 kilometers, so that's about 4 miles along this trend that has never been explored. And this is a trend that has yielded more than 1 deposit every kilometer, so about 2 deposits every mile of trend. And we've got several miles that have not been explored at all. So we think that we have a good chance of finding more. And the good part of that is, or the exciting part about that for us, is that the historical average grade on this property of deposits discovered is far higher than what we have left. And what we have left is going to be very profitable. But if we could find some of that super high grade stuff that they found in the past on this same trend, we will be even a better project than we are now. And we'll be exploring for that this summer.
One of the interesting takeaways that I saw from the PEA and then I noticed is that it's an open pit zinc project versus a lot of zinc is produced underground. Could you talk to us about the significance of that?
Well, sure. There's a number of positive items about that. One is that you're not only are we open pit, we are open pit in the covering that nature has left behind is literally just gravel. So we don't even have to blast it. We can just push it away with dozers and expose the actual ore to air. And that is just so much cheaper than the norm. So we've got not only the cheap open pit mining, but we've got very cheap what's called pre-stripping as well. So that's one significant part of the open pit. The other one is, I think I mentioned earlier, is our operating costs are always lower open pit than underground, because you're literally talking a few dollars, like $2 or $3 or $4 a ton, compared to somewhere between $40 and $80 a ton for underground mining. Totally different methods, and you have to have a lot richer ore underground for you to have a mine. So we're quite happy to have these open pits.
Kerry, a lot of analysts are predicting a zinc supply shortfall in the medium term, 2000 by 2020. Do you think that this project can make it into production by 2020 going forward?
We think it will. That's our timeline, is to be into production by 2020, and we can't see any reason why we wouldn't make it. Certainly, we're going to be in production a lot faster than most of the other companies that are looking at building mines right now. And the simple reason for that is they're underground. Well, as soon as you're underground, you have a couple more years of development before you're able to start mining. We can just start mining like from day one.
Kerry Knoll, Executive Chairman of Darnley Bay Resources, which can be traded as DBL on the TSX Venture and as DNLYF on the OTC. Thanks so much for being here with us today and for giving us an update on the recent preliminary economic assessment, which was just published.
Well, thanks for having me on the show.